We'll start now. I believe we've waited enough for those that are on the way. Good evening once again, and welcome to week three. So this is week three and class five of our classes. I we said initially it will be for 6 weeks, and for that 6 week, it will be two classes per week. This is the third week now, and our fifth class. So, um, is there anyone here that was in the class last week that would like to give us a brief talk of what we did last week? Yes, recap. Just a short recap in 1 minute or highest 2 minutes of what we did last week. That's all. Anyone? If you can, if there's no, don't, you're not with your book. Are we like? All right, all right. Okay. Would you want prestige? Would you want to attempt? Okay. This what we have on the screen here is what we did last week, the fourth class. This is the note from last week, and it's also in the group chat too. So last week we started our talk on layers. Okay, started talking about layers. What are layers? Talked about shapes, text, and pictures. We stated that all these things are all layers. Then we talked about how to deal with opacity of layers and the rest. So this is basically what we did last week. Then we talked about color overlay, how to style your layers. We really talked about color overlay and stroke. We'll be going deeper into all of that today. So um, that's that. If you are with the system you used last week, open the work we did. This is where we stopped. If you have the systems you are like, open the work. Don't forget, this is what we're trying to recreate. Let it open. This is what we're trying to recreate. So this is where we are so far. So if you are with the computer I used last week, just open your work and let's continue. Are we all there? Yeah? You see? Which one? Were you here with us last week? Is it Photoshop in that one you're using? You guys can swap. You can pay. Someone, but I wish you. All right. We all know how we got to this place, right? The first, Mama, you were not with us last week. Okay, all right. Majority of us stopped where we did this happy and where we did this Sunday, right? So what I'll do now, these three shapes that I put here, good afternoon. These three shapes that are here, I'm going to delete it and I'll remake them. So if you were not with us last week, you can just follow along how I created the shapes. That is it. Our main purpose for today is images. We want to start dealing with images. We want to start working with pictures. How to import pictures. So I don't know if all of these computers has pictures. I came with one particular picture we'll all be working with at the same time, and it's my flash drive. So when I'm done recapping what we did last week, I will share the pictures to all the whole computers here using this flash drive. Then we can move ahead. Is that okay? All right. So I'll delete this shape. I'll delete this shape. I'll delete this shape. Last 2 weeks, this is where we stopped, okay? So we just added 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to redesign these 3 shapes here before we continue. So I told us something about layers, that everything we have on our canvas here can all be found in this layer panel. Everything. Like this Sunday now, if I can't find this Sunday here, if I don't know where it is here, I can just tap on the letter and it automatically will locate itself. Same with this happy. If I don't know where happy can be found here, obviously this is it under this Sunday. But if I just tap here to locate itself, the beauty of this thing is for when you are dealing with work that has multiple layers and you can't seem to find one particular layer here, you use it. When you really understand the importance of knowing which layer is which here, is when you want to style the layer, like we did with that circle and that rectangle. So first thing first, we drew a rectangle. I told us if you want to draw a rectangle, same way if you want to type, you come to your text tool here, tap on it and type. If you want to draw a rectangle, you come to this rectangle tool here, you tap on it just once, then you come here, you just tap and drag. Hold down your left click and drag. Like that to create a rectangle. As simple as that. Then I also told us if you want to create a square. How do I talk about creating a square? What else about creating a square? What's the difference when you want to create a rectangle and we want to create a square, like a perfect square with all sides equal? What do you hold on to? Hold on to your shift. Hold on to your shift and drag. That way you create a perfect square. But here we're not creating square. Just want to create a rectangle like this one here. Okay? So just tap it here on the rectangle tool once. Then hold on your left click and drag across. I've said it before. I'm going to, after you drag across, go back to your move tool. I'll say it again. Whenever you're creating a rectangle, you don't necessarily have to make sure this edge here starts from this edge and it ends in this edge. So long as Photoshop is concerned, anything that is not within your workspace here, it's not going to recognize it. So it doesn't matter this side now that is outside. It doesn't really matter. Even if I make it big, like let me say I increase it in size now. You see, it's too big. It's very big now. You can see the out. You can see all these parts here. You see, it's too big, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is this white side that is showing that you can see. So that's how we created this rectangle. Then now, let's say you want to change the color of this rectangle. Where you change the color is in your layer style. How do you locate your layer style? Layer style is simply where you go to beautify your layers, where you go to style your layers. Simple as that. Simple as that. So how do you locate your layer style? The same layer style used, same way you locate layer style when you are working on a rectangle, the same way you locate it when you're working on a text or on a picture. You know what's a text, right? This is a text. Exactly. So now you tap on the layer you want to style, you tap on it first. You find it on your layer panel. Because I've already selected this rectangle now. You see selected. It has already automatically excuse me. It has already automatically selected itself here. So what you now do is you double tap to your left click. You double tap. Then your layer style panel. This layer style. This way you can come and do all sorts of beautification to your layer. You can add a bevel, you can add a stroke. Stroke is simply another word for outline. Like we have it in Microsoft Word. You can add a color, a gradient, anything you want to add, a shadow. This here you come and do it. But now I want to add a color overlay. I want to change the color. I just come here. Just come here and tap the color overlay. That's when you change the color already. other point. Start on this small rectangle. Find any color. Any color I want. But I also want something like light green. One second. As I was saying, if you want to change the color of a rectangle, you do that in your layer style. There are other ways to do that too, but for now, at this point, the primary way you should be doing it to change the color of your rectangle is in your layer style. So now, the same way, the same way we drew this rectangle, it's also the same way we are going to draw these circles now. This one here and this one here. Like I said, you go to this rectangle too. That place you create rectangle from, see the same place you create circles from. But if you go there now, you see that instead of a circle, what we can still find here is a rectangle. That is because the last thing you created was a rectangle, not a circle. So if you want to get a circle now, the circle 2, when you're on that rectangle place, instead of just clicking now, come here and drag. If you drag now, what you create is a rectangle. What you do is you right click on it. Then these things will open. When you right click, you see triangle 2. If you want to draw a triangle, it's the same place. You see line 2, you see polygon 2. But what we want to do is a circle. Circle in Photoshop most times referred to as ellipse. Ellipse, not circle, ellipse. So you just tap on the ellipse tool. And now whatever we drag is going to be a circle now. So because, like I said earlier, if you want to create a perfect square, because the rectangle tool is still the same tool you used to draw a circle. It's still the same tool you used to draw a square. But the only difference now is a square has all sides equal. And if you want to make sure all sides are equal, you hold down to your shift and drag. It's going to do that for you automatically. Same thing with this circle. Now, if I just drag like this circle is going to be like this. You can see all sides are not equal. It's not even. It's not like a perfect circle. And if you want to make it a perfect circle, you simply hold down on your shift key. Now, no more one side is bigger. Just like that. You can see that. But now, we're only halfway there. Don't forget this arc here. This arc here is just a circle. It's just a circle that, a big circle, but instead of putting everything, they just hang it there at the edge and some parts are outside, but you can't see that part outside. So, this is how you start with that same circle. Create a normal circle like this, then you go to your layer style again. I told you how to locate your layer style. You find that layer on the layer panel, that layer you want to style, just that layer you want to style. Find it. If you can't find it, just tap on the layer on your canvas. It's going to locate itself here. You see it selected. You see this one now is already selected. It's different from these other ones down here that are not selected. See this one up here selected. That means this is a circle here. So what you simply do, you double click, and this thing open. So this is where most of us had problems last week when it came to this opacity, reducing the opacity and working with the stroke. So that's major reason I'm doing a recap so we can follow through. So if you come to this, when you open your layer style, you see 2 sliders here. The first one is opacity. The second one is fill opacity. The one you reduce here is your fill opacity. Take it to 0. What it simply does is it removes every color. It removes every color on that particular shape. So just drag it down to 0. It's still there. The circle is still there. But the only thing now is that It doesn't have any color again. Just like as though you have zero fill. That is what this fill opacity does to it. Your fill opacity, same thing as color opacity. Meanwhile, this opacity up here is the opacity of the shape itself. This is just like you have a bottle of wine. Take it like this circle is a bottle of wine now. Fill opacity removes every content of wine in that glass and makes the glass empty. Hence, it's like it's there. The wine glass is still there, but now it's transparent. That's what this fill opacity does. Meanwhile, this first opacity now removes both the wine itself and the glass cup itself. Everything, it takes it out. That's what this first opacity does. You see, that is the difference between the two of them. This first opacity is everything. It removes everything, both the color, both the shape itself. It makes it invisible, makes it transparent, makes it non-existent. Meanwhile, this fill opacity is just removing the color. This is like just removing the wine inside the glass so that the glass is now transparent. So now we've removed the color with fill opacity. Because take fill opacity to 0. Then we'll go to stroke. Like I told us about stroke. Stroke is like outline. The way this outline in Microsoft Word, that's how they have stroke in Photoshop. Stroke is simply, like now, if you look at this television now, around it, you will see that there's something like there's a black part. Around the screen, there's one black part of the television. Around it, you can see a black, that's, I don't know how to show you. This black part, the edges, you can just see that is example of a stroke. Stroke is just the parts of the object on the edge, outside it. Like you see this circle now, you see that as I tapped on stroke, it drew a line around it. This is the stroke now. You can see it. So now it's a stroke that we worked on for it to be like this. You first remove the color of the circle, they applied stroke. Just tap on stroke. You don't need to come and check this place. Just tap on it. It's going to apply it, and then we put this position to be inside. Then we increase the size. This way increase the size. You can use this slider to increase the size. You can use this slider to increase the size. So, okay, let me just use the slider now. You can also write in the number you want. Anyone can do. Let me just increase the slider. So, like this now, it's 183. I'll say okay. You can also change the color of the stroke from here. This small rectangle. Any color you choose. Any color you choose. I just want to work like this. Okay. So now this is that circle. This is that circle now. We use layer style to remove the fill, then we use stroke on it. And now can I put it on this edge here? Use our move tool and put it on this edge now. So you see we have something similar to this here. This thing we did here. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? I will go through the same. I'll go through the same process again to get this smaller circle here. Okay. So just pay attention. If you got lost when we're doing this one, just pay attention when we do the second circle now. Like I said, we'll go to this shape tool here. Just call it a shape tool because any shape you want to create in Photoshop, whether a triangle, a circle, a rectangle, a square, this is where you come to. So if it's not on circle, like I said, you right click, then this dialog box, this thing comes out, then you select the shape you want to create. Here you want to create an ellipse. You tap on it. Then you hold on to shift so that the circle you create will be a perfect circle. So now we have a circle here. All sides are equal. You go back to your move tool. This is the circle we just created now. Any question how we created this circle now? All right. All right. Right? Okay. Let's say open Photoshop now. This you move to here. Come to this place. This is where you create shapes from. Can you find it in your own? Tap on it just once. Tap on it just once. You see that your cursor will change. It's now something like cross. Then you hold down your left click on any part of your work. Hold down, press down your left click and just drag. Yes. And just drag. Just like that. everything on this page is there. Where is the text? Where is the circle? Where is the rectangle? Everything here is there. Start from where you want to work with everything. Then you come beside this place. Come beside the name. Not tap on name. Not tap on name. Tap on beside it. Beside when I say beside, like this way beside that nothing is visible. Beside here. Okay. So you're gonna ask me how to change the color of circle, how to change the color of rectangle. Do the same procedure. So now let's say I want to change the color of this rectangle now. So I'll first start on the rectangle. Make sure it's selected. Hmm? Tap on rectangle first. So I select it. Okay. So if your rectangle is selected, tap on it. That's why when I say select your rectangle, I mean just tap on it. Then you find it beside, find it in this layer style, just beside the name. This empty place that nothing. Don't tap on the name. So here's now is the name. Don't make sure you don't click on it. Just come outside here now. Just double click your left 2 times. Something like this to open. Have we done that? Have we done that? Have we done that? All right. So you go to your color overlay. Tap on color overlay. If you go to color overlay, you have something like this now. This place. So now you see this. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Don't tap on. Don't click it. Just tap on the color overlay. The body. Exactly. If you just tap on the body, it automatically click itself. Don't need to go and click it. So so you see this place now. This is where you change the color. of that shape, whether it's a circle or a rectangle. This small box up here, you tap on it. Yeah, this small one here. See my mouse? If you tap on it, see where you now change the color to any color you want. Any color you want. But I want my own to be white, so I'll drag it up here to white. I'll say okay. Any question? Eh? Yes. Okay. If you finish, say okay. Tap on okay again. Okay. If you are done changing the color, don't if you close X, if you tap on X, start typing okay. Whatever you do, you have to come and do it again. So that's how you change color of shapes. Whether a circle, whether a rectangle, you use go to layer style, go to color overlay. Simple as that. So now, don't forget what we did to this circle here now. We want to repeat the same process on this small one we just created now. Okay? If you just created this small one, it doesn't matter any color you own, is whether it's black. Okay? Okay. It's the same. Yeah, there are two circles. The same thing I did here. The same thing I did here. The same thing I'm still going to do here. The only difference is that this is a bigger circle. If you just pay attention to this one. So this is the circle now I created. It doesn't matter whatever color your own is. So long as it's a circle, that's just the important thing there. Okay? So you go to your layer style again. I've told you layer style is where you beautify shapes. Okay? How do we go to layer style? If you find that layer by the side of it here that's empty, double tap. You double tap and it opens. Okay, so now my layer style has opened. The first thing I did, like I told you, this shape now, this circle now that is colored white. My own is colored white. It might be any color. It just take it to be like a glass of wine. Okay, the circle is the glass. This white color here, just this white paint here is like the color, the wine inside it. We don't need this color here. Make sure nothing is tapped. Just open it here. Make sure nothing is selected here, like you are seeing in this first place. Make sure if you are put the color overlay, remove it from color overlay. Uncheck it. Go back to this first place. Blending options. Make sure I'm blending options. Okay. Are we all in blending options? Tap on it. Yeah, because you just open it. If you just open it, this is how it should be. Look at the screen. That's how it should be. All right. So don't forget we are trying to replicate what we did on this circle, on this one here. All right. So first thing we did is, like we say, there are two kind of opacity sliders here. This first one is normal opacity. Okay. This second one is fill opacity. This fill opacity removes the color of the shape. Just remove the color of the shape, but the shape is still there. Just removing the color. This one, on the other hand, remove both the color of the shape and the shape itself. Everything just takes it out. I want the shape to still be there so that we can put a stroke on it. What we just don't want again is the color, right? So leave this first opacity, leave it how it is, 100%. You're not touching it. Is this second one now? You can either backspace it here and just write 0, or you can just drag this slide to 0. Drag it down. See where I'm dragging it. How do you drag it down? You use left click and hold on to the slider. Then drag it down. Just like that. Are we all together? We all removed it. Remove the fill opacity. Leave the main opacity itself. Yes. Main opacity should be high, okay? So if you remove the fill opacity, the shape is still there, but since there's no color in it, you won't be seeing anything. So now you will not come to your stroke. Go to your stroke. Stroke is there. Go to your stroke now. Stroke. You can move this your layer style panel to the side so you can be seeing what you're doing. If you want to move it, come to this up white place. Hold on your left click and move it to any place. Put it in a place where you can be seeing what you're doing, at the same time you can be seeing what you're working on at the same time. Just when you finish working on what you're working on, you still tap OK so that it will work. So just put it where that OK, some part of OK will be showing, so you can easily tap here. All right. Like I said, come to your stroke. After you reduce the fill opacity to 0, come now to your stroke. Okay? Stroke is this thing around it. I want your stroke to be white. This is where you change stroke color. Tap on this place. If your own is not white, tap on this small rectangle here and change it to white. This is where you change the color of the stroke. Take it to white. All right. Have you changed the color to white? All right. Finish changing the color. Tap OK. White is top left. So I want to talk on importing pictures now. The pictures are just sent to all the whole computers right now. This is how you import it into your work. I'll start again. All right. How to import pictures now? Go to File, go to Place Embedded, tap on it. You want to delete it? Tap on it and tap delete. Move to, yes, move to. So when you tap on Place Embedded, this thing comes out. So it's from here now. You will now look for the picture wherever it is stored. You now place it inside your work. Okay? All of the pictures in all the whole computers. Okay. File. I'll start again. File. Look for Place Embedded. Tap here, left click. Tap on it. This kind of dialog box. What we call this? This windows to open. So this is where you now search for it. I made sure I placed a folder named BG. I placed it in the desktop of your computers. It's in the desktop I placed it in. So now you look for your desktop here. Look at where my mouse is. Look for where is desktop here. Tap on desktop. Then among the folders in desktop now, you now look for the one that is BG. Open it. Double tap to open. Then you see you can find these 3 pictures there. BG. BG in desktop. You can find these 3 pictures there. So the pictures we want to work on is this picture. This first one. We want to remove the background. Just double tap on it. That's all. Yeah. Or you can tap on it once and tap place. Or you double tap on it. Anyone you want. So yeah, this is it now. So once it's in your work, when you finish importing pictures, first thing you do is to tap enter on your keyboard to make sure, like a kind of saying register it on your workspace, something like that. Make sure you tap on enter first of all. First thing, I've done that. When you finish placing the picture, so now this is the picture we imported. Okay, this is now. We're going to work on it right now. So first of all, I noticed that some of us, the picture is in the back of our Sunday, like this. It's back of our Sunday. So that means if you come to this layer panel here, where's the picture? Tap on it. This is the picture now in our layer panel. This is it here. You can see some layers on top it. And I told you this thing, that layers, they are like when you stack things on top of each other. If you write 2 down and you did color overlay, let me say this solid color on top, of course you won't see that 2 that is down again because this solid color on top has covered it. It's like you're stacking things on top of each other in this layer. Anyone that's on top of each other, this Sunday now is here, this is Sunday here, see the picture here. Of course, this Sunday now will now be covering the picture. Okay? So what you do now to make this picture on top of all this work is to manually, like it's a simple thing, drag it on top of the whole layers. How do you do that? This is the picture layer now. Just press down your left click and drag it up. See, I'm dragging it up. Up, I'll leave it here. I'll do that again. Tap on it, don't double tap. Just, it's not even you tap and remove your hand. Hold down your left. Yes, drag it up. Hold it. If it's up already, leave it. I'm talking about those that the picture is under the Sunday. I want the picture to be the first thing on your layer. Hold on it and drag it up. I want the picture. That Sunday is still on top of your picture. Tap on the picture. Then drag, go up. Just be going up. See, if you want to know where you are, why dragging, watch the screen. If you start dragging, you see one blue line. You see one blue line in between the layers. Can you see that blue line there? Yes, that blue line is showing where you are dragging to, where you are, that particular layer now. If I leave it here now, that means this place, that blue line is, there's where my layer will be. But I don't want it, I want it to be up, up. So I keep drawing, keep going up, 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 up. So now I breach here. This is the first part of the work. There's no other layer here. I'll just remove my hand. Don't forget, my hand has been pressing down on that left click since I pressed on it, I've not removed my hand. It's now I cannot remove my hand. It's now there. Can we see that? Or if it's giving you difficulty, I just going up one by one. I can hold it down, go up one step, I'll leave it here. I'll carry it, go up one step, I'll leave it here. Like that, till I go up. Then another shortcut of doing this thing, of moving layers up or down, you can use your keyboard and do that. I will show you that. Let's start on the layer you want to do. Let's say this layer I want to do now. Let's start on it. Then control bracket open. But it's not this bracket in between 9 and 0. This bracket here beside the key. Control bracket open would take the layer down. Control bracket close will take it up. So they do opposite. Just hold down your control, bracket open, bracket close. It's easy way of moving a layer up or down. You don't want, if you are using mouse to drag it and it's giving you difficulty. I'll do this now. See, I've gone up. See, that layer spanning. See, is going. Control bracket open. That's gone down. Have you see? It's not in the back of this background here. Control bracket close. You don't want to use this keyboard shortcut. You don't want to use this keyboard shortcut. You can still drag it manually. Anyone you want is for your own. So, have we seen the keyboard shortcut I was talking about? This bracket here, the one beside letter P. Control. You first tap on the layer you want to move up or you want to move down. Don't forget that. First tap on it. Then you now do control. Now I'm bringing it down. I'll choose bracket open. Bracket open. The bracket open is just the first key beside letter P on your keyboard. That is the bracket open. Then the bracket close, the one just beside that key as well. The bracket open goes down, the bracket close comes up. Who's having difficulty with that? All our pictures, the first thing of the layer here. So now to cut the background out from this picture, that's what we want to do. Just pay attention now because this is where this place it gets very tricky. And if you don't get it here, you don't get it. If you get it, you'll be very lucky. So please pay attention. If you're with your phone, just give your attention now because this is one of the most important part of Photoshop. How to remove background in pictures, because in the course of your design, you're going to be dealing with a lot of design that will have to deal with pictures. A lot. Even this one we're trying to replicate. If you see, there's a picture here already. Okay? And I'm doing something similar to this. So this is the picture now I want to remove the background. You will not ask me, how do you do it? Yes. You can, there are a lot of, in Photoshop there are tools called selection tools. What I call them? Selection tools. And just like the name implies, you use them to select parts of an object, an image, a picture. Use it to select parts. Use it to select parts. But um, before we go into that selection tools, I would show you how you can use Photoshop itself to remove the background of this picture. After that, they will now go into selection tools. Okay? So the first is very easy. You want to remove the background of this picture now. Normally, you're supposed to start with either this polygonal lasso tool here and start cutting the background. I'll still show you that, but first things first, the way Photoshop provided you can be removing background of pictures. My Photoshop is 2021 and it has it. So I don't know, most of this one here are updated versions, so it should be there as well. But just in case it's not your laptop, I'll also show you how to remove it manually, like I said. So you tap on the picture. First of all, tap on the picture. I hope they're all together. You go to select your menu bar. Then you find subject there. Tap on subject. It's going to take time. Because now that thing you're supposed to be doing manually, that's what Photoshop is doing for you. It's cutting around that picture. It's selecting the subject out of that picture. Okay? It's selecting subject. You tap select, you tap subject. Has it done? Is your own like my own? You see, it has cut around this picture now. No, select subject. If your own is not showing subject, that means the Photoshop version installed on that your system doesn't have it. And just leave it, I'll still show us how to remove the background the normal manual way. So if you tap select subject, so now there are two things involved now. When I learned how to use Photoshop first, is that folder there? But for the meantime, full and not. Have you selected something? So what you now do, you now come this place, come to this your selection tool here. Tap on polygonal tool. Just tap on it. You're not drawing anything there. Polygonal tool. Doesn't matter if there is a polygonal tool. Doesn't matter if it's in your last row. Just tap on it. Then come on top this. You see if you are moving around, it will be somehow. The shape will be somehow. But immediately you come on top of the already selected part of your work. See the shape. I see it. Come and the already part of your already selected work. See the shape. Don't forget this is why you tap on it. Polygonal tool. Come on top, see the shape. Immediately you change it there, right click on it. And now see layer, gear, cup. Gear, cup, layer, gear, cup. Right click. This layer, gear, cup here. You don't select subject. Who said it were not? You did select subject. Yeah? You did select subject and it's selected the subject, right? Yes, subject. So after it has highlight, wait, I'll do that again. If your work is still like this now, tap on this polygonal tool here. After you've tapped on subject and the thing has highlighted around her body, you see this polygonal tool here. See it here up here. Polygonal lasso tool. The lasso tool is also the tool used to cut the background, but we are not cutting now. I want to show you the easy way to do it. Then after this, I'll also show you how to cut it. Okay? When you tap on it, if you are going around here, you will see this height appearing. But immediately you come on top of this place, you see it will change. Is your own changing? Is your own changing? If it's changing, you now right click and say layer via copy. What you've just done now is that particular site type, that particular part of the picture that was selected, you just copied it out. And now if you go back to your move tool, you see that they are now two. It's now two. You can now tap on this one and delete it. And just like that, you've cut out the background. You see how easy it was? I'll do that again. Tap escape. No? Wait, hold on. I said I'll give you. So you're watching. You tap on picture, tap on select, then you tap on subject. Then after you tap on subject, it's supposed to select it just like this around this picture for you. Then now go to your polygonal tool. Come here. The moment you just come on top of that picture, any part of it, you see that it change. You now right click on it and now say layer here copy. And you watch it. The moment you just say, are you watching? Just watching what will happen along this place now. It's just going to create a new layer. It's going to cut out that part that was selected and make it a new layer on its own. Just watch how the new layer will appear here now. After layer here copy. See a new layer that appeared here now. There are now two. This first one that I cut out from, and this other one. No. So see there are now two layers now. The one you cut out is now a new layer, and this other one is background. So you can as well just delete this one now. But you don't need it again. Cut out what you want. And just tap on tab delete. See, just like that, cut out the background. And why this one is very good is that Photoshop cuts this background better than you ever have to cut it. Watch this side now. Let me zoom it. You want to zoom. See this thing here that's like an amplifier. Down here. That is zoom tool. I tap on it, then I'll zoom inside there. See the way her hair is cut out. See the way it's neat. See even there's hole in here. It's like everything is just very realistic. That's what Photoshop does. But if you have to use your hand and cut it, I feel that it might not be very neat. That's why most of the time I myself I use this method even before cutting out that normal way. But that yes, this one is even faster. It's better. But the catch is that it's not every laptop that has it. But I'll still show us how to do it in case. Eh? Main picture. Okay. So this is the picture now. But you've understood how to cut the background out normal Photoshop, right? I'll still do it again. I'll delete this one. Don't forget I'll come to file, place embedded. Look for the picture where that says in desktop and it's in a folder named picture. Open it. So now this is the picture there, right? Your tab has opened. What will I do? Maybe you put the picture, what will you tap on? Enter. Now the picture is here. This picture. And in case the old is in the back, you want to bring in some things are blocking it. You don't have to bring it to the front, right? Just drag it here. Or you can just use keyboard to bracket to go up. Also bracket minus, come down, anyone you want. So the picture here now, select it. Go to select Any bar. Subject. Select subject. Subject. Select subject. I see it as selected now. It is selected. You now go to your polygonal tool. You come on top of this picture here. Right click. What will you now tap on? What will you now tap on? Exactly. See, that's created a new layer for me here. Meanwhile, this picture layer. Before you do anything again, go back to your move tool. To move it around. This, the one we cut out. This, the picture itself. We don't need this picture again, right? Delete. Then drag this one and put here. And if you are seeing this my own picture now, you see now, this picture is now on top of this rectangle. But watch here. This one is where? Under it, Abi. So what did I say about moving layers? How will I now move it? Yes, or you can put this one beneath, anyone. But let me put this rectangle above. What will I do? Tap on it. Then you can either control bracket open and now put it on the front. Either control bracket open or just use your mouse and drag it. Are we seeing it? Are we seeing it? Yeah? Sometimes. Just watch. See what I'm trying to say now. See now, let me push this picture one side. It's still my work. Even this one, let me push it one side. Let's say I wanted to create a circle. I created, okay, let me delete this one. I wanted to create a rectangle first. I right click. What's the circle here? What will I do? I right click. Rectangle come out. I've drawn the rectangle. Instead of me to first tap move tool, tap outside to make sure that this rectangle is no more selected again. Because if you still select this rectangle now and you want to draw a circle, you go back here, you draw circle. You have drawn circle, oh, it's good though. But the catch, okay, wait. The catch now is that this circle and this rectangle, they are now joined. They are now joined as one shape. If you are moving this one, the other one will be moving as well, moving the each other. You see it now? See it? But now watch. Yes? now you can move two of them separately. That's what causes why two of them are there. You have to do that's what causes why two of them are there. They all split it separately. Deselect. Okay? So now, this is our picture. Okay. Anybody that is confused on how to put out this picture background, because I want to enter into the second and traditional method of putting picture background. Okay? So now, I'll delete this picture. Delete it. Remove the background. I know you remove the background, but delete it. Let's go back to the process. Delete. Yeah, delete it. Yeah. Yes, no. I'm just delete the picture. Tap on the picture, tap delete. Something like that. Tap on the picture, tap delete. Alright? To replace it again, same process. File, place embedded. This second process is very fast. It's very fast. So this is the picture now. Yes. So this picture here now. And why this picture is so complicated is you need to be zooming in a lot. So you also learn how to use your zoom tool here. Okay. So how you going around this process is you select some part of the picture, delete it out. And this is how you start it. With the picture already selected, listen closely. Listen closely. You come to this layer panel, here you can find it. Come to layer panel, you right click and tap on rasterize layer. Yes, yes. If you rasterize layer, you don't really understand what it does. You don't really understand what it does. So you have to get higher information. Rasterize, if you have a layer, yeah, you right, you let click on rasterize layer like that. The layer is this is not really important. So I'll just say layer. So two types. Either it's a smart object or it's a rasterized layer. If you import a picture to Photoshop, automatically that picture is a smart object. If you rasterize it, it's no more a smart object again. It's as simple as that. This is the difference between smart object and rasterized layer. You see this picture now, I've already rasterized it, right? But you can't see, do you notice any difference? How it was now you rasterize it. There's no difference, Abi. There's no difference. You can't see, you can't, like, if you've not touched the size, if you don't touch the size, you can't see any difference. This is how you now know the difference. Let me say I reduce the size of this picture down. Tap enter. And I increase the size again. It is blurry. It's no more as sharp as it was. This height, okay. Let me have it before and after. I reduce this one. After I rasterize layer, I reduce it small. And I say enter. And I increase it again. Back up. See, the picture is no more sharp again. Because I rasterized the layer, it has removed that quality from it. Let me import this picture again now. Place embedded. That's the same picture. This is how it was. This is when it's still a smart object. Don't forget, I've not rasterized this one I just brought in now. Let me reduce the size. Let me increase the size back up. A smart object remains a smart object. Nothing will happen to it. But the moment you just rasterize it, if you increase it, you keep on increasing it, no problem. But if you rasterize the layer and you went ahead to reduce it, that size you have reduced it is now the new size. If you increase it again, it will now become blurry. It will not be sharp again. That's the problem about rasterizing picture. But because we want to cut out the background now, you have to rasterize it. So this one in the back, I'll just tap on it and delete it. This is the new one here. Don't forget, come here, right click, rasterize layer. So this layer now, already rasterized. So you go to your zoom tool. This is the zoom tool here. Have you all selected the zoom tool? It's like a magnifier. If you select zoom tool, make sure nothing, this scrubby zoom is not checked. Check. It is not checked. Make sure it is not checked. These zoom all windows, it is not checked as well. Nothing is checked, nothing, like it's empty. These resize windows to fit, it is not checked as well. After you tap on zoom tool, make sure all this thing is empty, empty, empty. Then in this minus and in this plus, because we want to zoom inside, make sure it's on plus. If you have confirmed all these things, let me know, then we'll now zoom inside. Have you all confirmed all of them? You've confirmed? Let me see. All right, are we together? All right. So now, with all of these things selected now, we want to start cutting out the background, and we want to start from her head. So this is what you do. The same way, if you want to create a rectangle, you hold and drag. The same thing you do. Hold, drag. That zoom to her head now. If you zoom too much and you did a mistake, you want to come back to how it was normal. Control 0. Control 0. To go back to your how it was normally. Control 0. Control 0 if you made a mistake. Control 0 to take you back to how it was normally. If you want to try again, do it like as though you are drawing a square or a rectangle, anyhow. Hold, drag. That's all. Simple. Have we done that? Drag. Are we seeing it? Yeah, everybody's own. On check, make sure you're on check scrubby zoom. There are a lot of ways to zoom. If the hold on, if that wire doing, I can see you're zooming it as well. We just want to zoom it. It's working for you, no problem. Alright? Or if you have a problem, just a tapping on her face. Tapping on it, small, small. Tapping on that place you want to zoom to. Tapping on it. Then you can use your mouse to go around it, go around it. If you zoom in too much, you want to go back, control 0, like I said. If you can't do it up and down, you can see this scroller by the side here. You can use it and be going. See this by the side, tap on it. I'm using it to scroll. Are we together? Have you all zoomed in? What I'm asking us to zoom in, you can still start cutting out this background from here. But I want you to be looking at it. Otherwise, I know this method of cutting background is very complicated, but it's just something you have to know. I myself, I don't think I ever use it. I can't remember the last time I used it to cut background. It's always that select, because that select subject is faster, it's more efficient, it's neater, it's everything. But this one is just good. You should have the knowledge. Okay? Right? There's no time again. Alright. So somebody asked the question that what if you want to cut the background, you want to select subject, but you don't want to select everything. Like you don't want to select maybe from the shoulder upward. Okay? This is what you do. Select subject. I just want to show you an example. If you want to pull along, fine. If you don't want to pull along, it's still okay. So I've selected subject, same process. Now I go to the now to and right click and say layer via top. Go back to my list. Now there are two, right? You know how I got this, right? And I deleted this one. Now I have this one. And like let's say you want to select us from the shoulder, have you? Yeah. So now can I use either this polygonal tool or this marquee tool here? Also for selection. See this one that's like rectangle, but it's line, 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 line. It's also for selection. This second one is also for selection. All of them here is just for selection. But this last two, I don't think I ever use it aside graphic design. It's only the second selection or rectangular selection. And for this one, I want to use the rectangular selection. So I'll tap on it. I'll just drag to this place. It doesn't matter that I selected all this side outside, so long as it's empty, no problem. You now do the same thing. You don't need to go back to polygonal tool again. You know what I told you earlier about selection tool? That things called selection tools in Photoshop. Selection tools, they are not just one. It's used for just selection, like the name implies. The selection tool. The what? Selection tool. Selection tool. This polygonal tool is kind of selection tool. This one is called magic wand. This is for selection. I want to show you how to do it. This is for the selection. This one here is for selection. Three of them use it hand by hand. Whenever you want to cut back. Three of them. Three of them also perform three different things. This one now uses see work. Don't select as a rectangle or as a set. That's just what it does. So now I want to cut out our background, but I don't want every part of our picture. I just want this side. What I do after you know I got this particular one, right? So after I got it, I now go to this rectangular marquee tool. That's what it's called. Tap on it. Then I now select the side I want. And that's when I showed you that time that after you finish selecting the subject, you go to your polygonal tool, right click. That thing did your polygonal tool. You can also do it for magic wand tool. This one I see here. This quick selection, this one here. You can also do it with this one. Three of them are all selection tools. But I just say this polygonal tool, but that's the one I myself I use. So just continue with that. Then you come here, right click, same thing, layer via copy. You copy out this layer. Okay. You can now delete this one. Okay. See it. See? I'll leave it. See, show you an example. When I was working on one picture, I just want to cut out a part of the picture. Let me check. Let me see. Hold on, hold on. Let's say I have a picture like this now. This is a picture now. I imported this one as a picture. Okay? And I want to cut out something from this picture now. Let's say I want to cut out this good mark here. That is here. I want to cut it out. Okay? I cannot use select subject now. Because let me just explain select subject for you. You can only use it when you want to cut out one picture, like you have a picture and it's just one person that's in that picture. I want to cut out just that one person. That's the time you can use select subject. Because like name, you just select subject of that picture, major thing of that picture. That is what simple word select. Okay? So now I can use select subject. I want to cut out this good mark. Remember, I can just come here now. If I want to use rectangular marquee tool, that is this one that is rectangle. I can use it. If I want to use the ellipse marquee tool, that is circle marquee tool, I can use that too. But let me just use the second one now. I'll start from it. Just come here, just like circle. I selected this one now. I can now right click and say layer via copy. Go to your move tool. You need this one. I copied out this one now, out of that layer. This is how to cut out a part of the picture from the graphic. This is what I removing background of picture. Just cutting out one part of the picture. I'll give another example now. I'll show you now. There's another selection tool for that. So if you come down here now, this one, you right click on it. They are three. It's magic one, this quick selection tool. Magic one, just like the name imply, magic one is like does magic two. One of the most interesting tools, also for selection. Magic one too. Like I want to remove that blue back there, and I want to remove it, and I want to remove just this side that is black. Okay? It's magic one. Let me show you how it is. And if you also want to remove background of picture, you can also use this magic one, but I won't advise that. Let me show you how magic one works. Magic one, you only use it when you want to cut out a part of the picture from the main picture. And that part you want to cut out, listen closely. That part you want to cut out has a different color from the background, like a clearly different color. If this good now was white, or it was maybe ash, or a color similar to that background color, magic one will not work. This is how it works. Don't forget, it's just this one. After this set here, right click on it to find magic one. See, it's like a one. The one is not showing one. Your caps lock is probably on. See now, it's not going to show it again. Turn off my caps lock, it's not showing. See it now. I'll start again. Go to your move tool. Always make sure before you want to work on the selected first. Then I'll go to my magic one. This is the side I want to cut out. I'll just start on it. That's automatically selected that part. Have you seen it? If you tap on this curved part of it now, because it's black and the background is white, if I tap on it, that's automatically selected it. If I was using polygonal tool, I was supposed to zoom in and start cutting and start cutting and start cutting. But the problem with magic one, you only select once. Like if I tap here now, I've selected the other one I selected. If I tap here now, I've selected the other one I selected. But there's a way you can select two at a time. What you do is go down to your shift key. Go down to your shift key. I've selected the two of them at the same time. See it. If you select and you select the wrong thing, Ctrl D, select, I've removed everything. I'll do it again. After I tap the magic one, I tap here, I selected, move my shift so I can tap more than one place. Tap the second one. Now right click and see what layer via